So my name is Kimberly Gregoli. I am a kindergarten teacher. I'm in the state of New Jersey, and we're right by the beach. So we're not far from the beach. So it's the coast side. I'm in Monmouth County. This is my 5th year teaching kindergarten in this school, but it's my 18th year teaching altogether. I was in a different school district for a little while, and I absolutely love what I do. Teaching has become very challenging here. I don't know how it is for you over in India, especially after COVID, and there's so many different things going on. But, you know, we're making it happen. We're finding the best, and we're here for our students. So I absolutely love what I do. I love, I'm a learner myself. I love learning, and I want to share that love of learning with my students. And I have to say, I was so excited to meet all of you. I think being able to do this and to be able to reach out and, you know, all of a sudden we're global now. We're not just with our own classroom or our own state or our own country, but being able to reach out to all of you and support all of you as well is really, truly a gift. So it's so nice to meet you.
Yes, absolutely. Whether we are in India or you are from in America, I think we are today are global citizens. Most of your students and my students are global citizens. That's exactly what, as an educator, we would like to see our students to be global educators.
Absolutely.
Yes. So teaching at primary level is always tough for an educator. So that too, for a kindergarten school, it is almost tough. I think you need to deal with very small kids. Yes, it requires a lot of patience, a lot of techniques on the part of the teacher to deal with these students. So I always appreciate the teachers who deal with the primary school students. I bet that you have a great talent in dealing with the students of this kind of tender age.
Yes, I feel like they're magical when they're younger. I love watching them. They grow so much. You know, they come in here and they really, some of them don't know their letters or their numbers. So to watch them go from learning their letters, numbers, how to hold a pencil and how to write into becoming readers and writers is pretty amazing. And I have a really great co-teacher over here that I work with, which makes it much more fun. And, you know, it's nice when you have somebody with you.
Yeah. Now I would like to request my students one after another to interact with you. Nagalakshmi, I would like to start with you.
Tell me about your most relevant teaching experience that makes you an apt for this position.
So I think that I love music. I'm very musical, and I'm in a school district. I don't know how it is in India, but in New Jersey, every district hires their own teaching staff, and they kind of, you know, they can kind of decide who they're bringing in and what kind of program that they want. The program that I'm in here really embraces who I am and allows me to bring my musical talents to the classroom. And I think that's really important. I think being patient and then allowing my students to become learners and learn how to be learners, I think is one of the most important things, I think, for me. And can I show you really quick? Can I take you for a tour in my classroom?
Yes.
So what we do, in kindergarten, we have different themes and we travel all over the world in these themes. So we go from ancient Japan to the medieval castles of England. Right now we're in the Amazon rainforest. So the kids learn all about the rainforest and then they make props. So you'll see like they decide what they want to make. So here's like one of the trees. There's like monkeys hanging from the trees. I have snakes hanging from like the ceiling. We have all these vines all over the place. And then our door, we have like curtains hanging from the door. So when they walk in, it's like walking into the rainforest. I have a big room, which is nice, but you can see like the door there. So we make all kinds of like different things and the class gets to decide what they want to make. And I think that that creativity, I'm a pretty creative person, and I think having that is helpful. So
I must say that your kids are so lucky to have you.
Oh, thank you.
Durga Sai, over to you.
Yes, sir. Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
My name is Durga Sai. I'm glad to interact with you. Can I ask you a question, ma'am?
Sure.
What is your role as a kindergarten teacher?
My role? Is it? Yeah. So my role here is really to make sure that my students are ready for the next level in teaching. And I think in kindergarten, part of that is learning how to become a learner and what's accepted and how to realize what their strengths are and things that they need to work on. They need to learn how to persevere if something is too difficult for them. Instead of giving up, what kinds of things can you do to help you get through difficult times and things. A lot of what we do is teaching them how to read, teaching them how to write, basic mathematics. But there's a big push since COVID right now also to address their social emotional well-being. So right now we want to make sure that they are emotionally in a good place, how to handle their emotions if they're not feeling happy or if they're feeling sad, and how to deal with each other socially as well.
So Sindhu, over to you.
Yes, sir. Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
How are you, ma'am?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm also fine, ma'am. This is Sindhu, a 6th grader. I would like to ask a question, ma'am.
Sure.
What skills should a kindergarten teacher have?
I think that aside from just the education of understanding to be a teacher and putting together lesson plans and different types of assessments and things, I think you have to have a lot of patience for kindergarten.
Yes.
So this is Brooke's first year as a teacher. This is her first year teaching. So what do you think some of the skills that
Oh boy. Okay, so definitely a lot of patience, like Kim was saying, and also that creative and artistic and music. You have to kind of embarrass yourself a little bit when you're a kindergarten teacher and sing and dance and not be afraid to play. And it's really important for the kids to play, and you need to show them that that's a way for them to learn. So yeah, just basically, everything that Kim's been saying, and just like playing with them and learning and the creative side and doing all of these fun things.
Yeah, I think that a big part of it too is understanding developmentally the age and what they're expected to do. You can't expect too much from a kindergartner because they're not at that point yet. They can't sit for 10 minutes at a time and be completely still. So I think understanding where they're at developmentally and then being able to gauge your lessons and stuff to that.
And definitely the patience. Because when they come in, some of them have never been in school before, especially with COVID. So they're coming in and you cannot have high expectations or really any, because you need to teach even just a routine, a simple routine of unpacking and coming in and sitting down. So you have to really be patient.
Yes, absolutely. Sai Surya, over to you.
Yes, sir. Hi, ma'am. I am Sai Surya, a 7th grader. Can I ask a question?
Sure.
How do you stay updated on innovations and news in the education field?
There's a lot of, we have as teachers required professional development hours twice a month that we stay after school and we learn about new innovations. They also send us for different workshops. Aside from that, there are many conventions. So I'm really big into going to these teacher conventions. I was just at something called Texpo, and it was a technology convention not far from here in Atlantic City. And the district sent me for 3 days, and I've got to learn about a lot of the new, innovations and things that are going on. So it's a blend between deciding for yourself as an educator, and then the school district also sends you for different things and prepares you.
Yes. So Dikshit, are you available? Dikshit?
Yes, sir.
Hi.
How are you, ma'am?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, ma'am. Thank you very much. My name is Dikshit. I'm a 7th grader. I would like to ask a question, ma'am.
Sure.
What is your teaching philosophy?
I think my teaching philosophy is that everybody has the capability to be a lifelong learner. And I think that developing that love of learning for everybody is something that is really my passion, and that we all learn in different ways. So I think that sometimes what works for one person doesn't work for the other person. Some person might learn by looking and seeing something, where somebody else might actually have to use their body and touch and use manipulatives to learn. So my philosophy is that everybody has the capability to be a learner and to be whatever they want to be in life, but there's just a different way of sometimes learning the things that we need to learn.
Yes. Subramanian Srinivas?
Thank you very much, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, ma'am. What about you, ma'am?
I'm doing great.
Glad to interact with you. This is Subramanian Srinivas, a 7th grade student. I would like to ask a question, ma'am. Can I ask, ma'am?
Of course.
What is school like in your country?
You know, I can't wait. I want to definitely set this up another day where I can ask you all questions. But as far as in our country, you know, I think that the students are required, you're in middle school, right? You're middle schoolers or, so I can kind of give you a little rundown of what they do in middle school here. So in our school, the students have a homeroom teacher. They come in the morning, they have to be here at 8:30. They have a homeroom class where they also now have something called morning meeting, where everybody sits around, and this is for that social emotional learning, where they greet each other, they play different types of games and activities, and they kind of, the teacher can kind of see how everybody's feeling, how everybody's doing. And then from there, they have their core subjects. So here in this school, they have a different teacher for social studies, for math, language arts, and science. And then from there, they have a gym class. Art, every day is different, but they have gym, art, music, technology, and media. And then from there, they also have electives. So every marking period, they get to choose. It could be a music-based elective. It could be something like a debate club or different kinds of clubs that they're involved in. Any type of sports and activities are done after school. And then they have a recess time and a lunch time, a lunch period where they're all together.
Yes. So Lohita, over to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, ma'am. Thank you. What about you, ma'am?
I'm doing great.
I am Lohita Girija. I am a 9th grader. Could you please allow me to ask a question?
Sure.
What qualifications are required to become a kindergarten teacher in your country?
So you have to have, actually you just did this, the qualifications.
Oh, yes.
So I'm going to have Brooke answer this question.
Okay. Okay. So to become a teacher, you need to go to college. So after high school, you go to college for 4 years and you get a bachelor's degree. And then you actually have to take a couple tests, and you have to take these tests to get a certificate to become a teacher. You can also, so I just went to grad school. So I did my 4 years of college and then an extra 2 years, so 6 years. And I have a certificate and a master's degree. So it's a little higher education. And I have 2 certifications. So I have one for general education and one for special education. So there's a couple different ways to do it. But that's generally the way. You have to have your bachelor's or master's degree, and then you have to have a certification as well.
Thank you.
And then with those degrees, just so if you start with the bachelor's, you're on one pay scale.
Yes.
But when you have the extra degree, you receive more money. So it's worth it if you can to do that. So.
Okay, Tedipya, over to you.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you, ma'am?
I'm doing great. How are you doing? Oh, I can see you now.
Thank you, ma'am. Can I ask one question, ma'am?
Sure. So in kindergarten, by the end of the year, there's a couple different, we have our like the social emotional, getting along, playing well with others type of goals. We also have for them to be able to hold their pencil or pen or marker the correct way, they need to be able to cut as well. And then as far as reading, we have certain reading levels where they should be at by the time that they leave kindergarten. We call them DRA levels. So they have a particular level that they have to be at for reading, a certain level for what they're able to do with writing, and then for math as well. Our students, the whole school actually takes something called a Link-It assessment 3 times a year. It's an online assessment. They take it the first week of September. We just took our second one in January, and then they take it again in May. And it's based on ELA, English Language Arts, and math. And we're able to kind of track them and see that they're progressing, or if they're not progressing, what kinds of intervention they need, what kind of help.
Sahiti, over to you.
Yes, sir. Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
How are you, ma'am?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, ma'am. My name is Sahiti, a sixth grader. Could you please allow me to ask my question?
Absolutely.
What makes a great kindergarten teacher?
A great kindergarten teacher, I think, is somebody who likes to have a lot of fun with their students. I think it has to be somebody who finds new ways to keep their attention and isn't afraid, like Miss Brooks said before, to be a little silly with them. I think that you have to understand where they are developmentally. And I think that sometimes you have to just kind of like know how to interact with them. And I think that kindergartners are really smart, and they know if you like them and you like what you do, or if you don't. So there is no fooling them.
No fooling them. And
But
stay positive.
being
Always staying
positive, you know, I think you just have to really, kindergarten is something that it takes a certain person, I think, to be kindergarten, or even as a teacher, middle school teacher. Like, I don't think I would be
I could never do middle school.
as good a middle school teacher as I am a kindergarten
Yeah.
teacher.
So
Thank you, ma'am.
what kind of support do you enjoy from their parents? The parental support is also important. So
Yeah.
what kind of support do you enjoy from their parents? Do the parents are so cooperative with you?
Yes, you know, I'm really lucky. The school where I'm at, I have a lot of parent support, and I think I'm very lucky for that. I also use Instagram a lot, and I'm allowed in my class to post pictures of the students and the things that we're doing. And I think that allows the parents to really see what's going on in the class with their children. I also make sure that I have communication, open communication. So I email them when I need to email them. If I need to bring them into the school, we'll meet for a conference. And the nice thing here is that the students walk to school every day, or there's no busing. So every day the parents have to come and pick them up at the end of the day, or grandparents. So I get to see them every day. So if I have an issue in the classroom, I'm able to address it immediately, or just giving them that friendly wave, and we get to see each other. And so it's a good relationship. That's super important.
So taking food is also one of the issues for the kindergarten students. So how do they take the food? Do the parents or any other attenders, I mean, help them to take the food in the afternoon session?
So they go to the cafeteria. They actually have, they eat the same way that the rest of the school does, the kindergartners. They have a choice. They can bring their own lunch. Many of them will bring their own lunches, or they can buy lunch here at the school. So they could buy a hot lunch or snacks. They have all ice cream, cookies, all of those sugary things that makes the afternoon a lot of fun. But they do. Most of them bring it from home, but sometimes today's a pizza day on Fridays. They get pizza in the cafeteria, so most of the kids will have pizza today for that. And then what we do is they have an early lunch. They have a 10:30 lunch, recess and lunch, and then at around 1:30 we'll have a snack in the classroom, and they all have like something that they bring with them just to eat.
So in our school system, a primary school teacher gets upgraded, I mean, get promoted to the secondary grade teacher. So secondary grade teacher gets promoted to the next level of head teacher. So there are some promotions. Do you have such a scenario in your school system?
No. So my certification as an elementary teacher from college is kindergarten through 5th grade. That's all that I can teach, and I'm certified to teach. So if I want to become a middle school teacher, I have to go back to school and get that certification. Usually once you're hired, the district can put me in any grade. They could tell me, next year you're going to 3rd grade. Next year you're going to teach 2nd grade. I've been here for 5 years, and I've been in the kindergarten classroom for 5 years. They're letting me specialize, but that doesn't mean that's where I will stay. But there is no promotion like that. However, our pay scale every year goes up. So my salary gets bigger the longer I've been here, but that's interesting.
Services. So 62 years is the retirement age here in India. What about there?
Well, it's 65 now.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be 55. Now, my husband is 55. I have to wait till 65.
Okay. So you have just mentioned that the musical sense is something that makes your students love you. So if you just, when you are dealing with a kindergarten age students, I think you have to be a hero, you have to be a magician, you have to be a dramatist, and you have to play all kinds of roles. So
Yes.
Many.
yes, you have to play many roles. So would you mind doing a musical performance for me and for my students, keeping us just like treating us as a kindergarten students?
Sure. Okay, so we're yeah, I can get my guitar, but I think that do you want me to do that? So,
Yes.
where is
What are we doing?
here it is. So I have my guitar here. And I'm gonna have Brooke, she's gonna clap, and before she's gotta go pick up our class, but you're gonna go get her?
No.
Okay, so this is how we greet ourselves. So we sing our welcome song every day. So that's what we're gonna do, okay?
And I'm a terrible singer, but
She's gonna sing anyway.
do it.
And then I see you all turned off your screens.
Ready?
But you can clap along. I would love for you all to turn on your screens again. But that's up to you.
Turn your cameras on. Turn on your...
Here we go. Welcome to our class, everybody. Welcome to Spring Lake Heights today. Then we'll sing to all of you. And that's how we go through the whole thing. So it's just, and they clap along, they sing along. We sing to each student as we go. And then we say their names. And I think that's really important that they all say good morning to each other and sing along. So that's one of the things. And then we do a lot of finger plays and things. You know
what kind of activities that means you would like to do with your students other than the academics? Because the students love the activities and love to sing songs and something like that. So
they do.
Sharing some activities that you usually engage your students in.
So a lot of what we do in our classroom this year and the activities are more, it's a center-based classroom. So if I kind of take you around again a little bit so you can maybe see, when they go into, we read our story and then they do their writing, but then they have like little activities and things that they can like play with, like different games. We have a science center, a Lego center. They have even for math, a lot of like kindergartners learn best through play. So if we can support their play through academic kind of play, it's important. So that's what they have. They have like all kinds of like math center games and stuff. We have like pattern blocks over here. And then a lot of what they do too is dramatization. So it's acting out. So for kindergartners, they can't really write about how they, a summary of the story. But the first part of this is to be able to act out the story. So we build props and stuff. So we're in the rainforest and the characters that we just read about had boats. They were in like a log boat, and you could see like our river that they painted there, and they reenact the story. So they have different activities and props and things to act out the story, which I think is really good for them too. So that's type of centers activities. We do singing and a lot of movement with them too.
So, as a kindergarten teacher, you have to keep updating your thought process, and you have to think innovatively, and you have to do a lot of activities every time in order to engage your students, think creatively. And how much time you spend at home to think about these activities before you come to the classroom?
I think about it all the time. I think about it constantly. I go to bed thinking about it. I wake up thinking about it. I'm constantly, trying to find new ways and things to do. I think that's being a teacher, right? It's always with us. It's We say it's not a job. It's a lifestyle. It's part of who we are, anywhere we go. Yeah. Education has changed a lot. In kindergarten especially, it's like it switches the pendulum. For a while, it was a lot of sitting at your desk, writing, reading, worksheets, and now it's no worksheets. They want them up in centers and moving around. So it's kind of that back and forth. So with that comes a lot of planning and stuff like that.
Yes. So one last question is coming up. So you have been a teacher for almost how long have you been teaching?
18 years.
Yes.
18 years.
Yes. So Do you have the orientation classes? I mean, in order to upgrade your teaching, maybe proficiency in the field of kindergarten. Do you have such a orientation classes? I mean, the classes that can upgrade your knowledge professionally in the kindergarten field?
Yes, there are different classes that I can take. It's more that I've been taking a lot of classes with the program. So we have a new program called Tools of the Mind program. And with that program, which is a very center-based program, there's a lot of training. So this is my 4th year with this program. The first year I had 5 days of training. The next year was 3 days of training, then 2 days, and then 1. And then they come in, I have to make videos and send them. And then we discuss the videos and stuff. So it's constant, learning and improving.
Yes. So do your students enjoy the math, doing math? Do your students enjoy the language? And what subject do your students like most?
I think that they love the centers. So when they can be engaged and playing, that is their favorite. I think they like the literacy centers a little bit more, where they can, be acting out the characters and things. Some of them like the math more than others. So it kind of just depends on what they're doing. But for the most part, I would say most of them, they don't like sitting at their desks doing writing and stuff as much. That's their least favorite thing.
Okay. Could you please give a final message to my students? I think only 1 minute time is left. I think a few seconds.
Okay. First of all, I want to thank all of you for being with me today. I think that we are so true that we are now have become, you see them all, they're all coming in, global citizens. Say hi, guys. And, I think that realizing that the world has really shrunk now and that we are all connected. And I think that we all have that same love of learning. And I think being a teacher where you are and a teacher where I am, it's so different, but at the same time, it's so similar. And I think the opportunity, getting to meet all of you, has made my life richer. And I hope that we can do this again. I would absolutely love to do this again. I can even get permission maybe from my parents and my students to do this if you want, and they can interact with each other.
Yes, yes.
So I think, but just please, continue to support each other, care for each other, take care of each other, be kind. And, I would love for you to all to be teachers down the road.